Hi there. I am Dr. JoAnn Yanez. I'm the Executive Director for the Association of Accredited Naturopathic Medical Colleges. Today, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about stress and how we reset our pandemic response. I think that it has been a year, a really challenging year and a half for many of us. And so today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what is a normal stress response, how do we get our circuits overloaded, and so a few tips that you can do if you feel like you are overwhelmed, that it's just too much. And no, we don't have the keys to immortal bodies in naturopathic medicine, but we do have a few tips that might be helpful along the way. So what is that stress response? Well, stress response is actually good. It's a mechanism in our body that helps us respond to things in our environment. If there is a car about to hit you in an intersection, what happens? Your heart pumps, it gets blood to your limbs, and you can run across that street, hopefully to safety. But all of the little things that have been going on, the death, the fear, the anxiety, many of the different things that have shaped our world keep this stress response constant. And so that the adrenal gland, the cortisol, that keeps pushing out in response to that stress, over time, we don't have a chance to recover. And so normally there's a chance to have that stressor and have your body respond to it. And then you have some downtime, some time to recover. But, this picture, I think, shows it all: sick, health, stress, work, debt, job. You can add the pandemic and, racial tensions and social injustice and politics, whichever way you lean. It's been a very stressful time to be a human on this planet. And so all of those things add up. And so if you're feeling a little crispy around the edges, a little burnt out, how do you know if you're burnt out? Well, you might be easier to anger. Little things that normally might not, set you off might now be setting you off, or you might be easier to cry. You might feel more tired than normal. That's a way that your body is responding to stress. It's saying, hey, pay attention. There's something wrong here and we're out of balance. And so what are the things that you can do? Well, one, you can pay attention. I think there are a number of things that we can do when we're thinking about our stress response. When you're feeling those, negative thoughts, stressful thoughts, there are several things that you can do. So you can, one, be present with your thoughts. Like, am I kind of going down that rabbit hole of social media, or of negative thoughts about myself? Am I are those kind of creeping in more frequently than I would like to admit? And then notice how you feel when those thoughts are creeping in. Are you holding that stress or tension in your body anywhere? Over a course of years now, I've gone through several medical degrees and different masters and different degrees over the course of my life. And I have now become more aware of my body and, when I'm stressed, am I clenching my jaw? Am I holding it in my shoulders? Where's that stress, and how is that stress showing up in you? So maybe just take a moment every day. You can pick a time in the evening, in the morning, or just, throughout the course of your day. Where is stress showing up for you? Is it grabbing for the refrigerator door handle a little bit more often? Is it maybe grabbing for a glass of wine or something else to help you cope with that stress? But being present with yourself and being non-judgmental, forgiving, just acknowledging that it is, without the labels, without the the attachment to all of the things that we associate with those things, but really just recognizing it, thanking it for showing up, and showing at the door. Okay, we're going to handle this stress differently than clenching my jaw, or I'm going to handle this stress differently than scrunching up my shoulders. Let me relax my shoulders. Let's pay attention to my posture. Let's pay attention to how I'm feeling and why my shoulders are reacting in this scrunched up nature. And so, really just honoring why are you feeling that stress, and trying to let it go when you can. Um, so one thing that I want to leave you with is you're in control of this. You can change your mindset. You can change your mindset to have uh, really, so much of it can be perception. Are we holding on to negative things? Are we looking for negative things? That which you look for shows up. And so, how do you show up in your life? Are you practicing some of the things on this chart here? You're in control. So, are you choosing to see that, glass is full or empty, or is it filled with something yummy? How are you choosing to show up in life, and what is it that you're choosing to get out of it? And so, this takes practice, and I don't want anybody walking away feeling, oh man, this is too much to do. I can never get this, in my life. Really, it just takes practice, and nobody is perfect. We're all going to have times where, uh-oh, my shoulders are scrunched. Let me pay attention. But really, it's just a practice of paying attention to how you're feeling, and reacting to that, and responding, and keeping it as a regular part of your life. Um, so, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is in the moment to moment attention. So, paying attention on purpose in that moment, in the here and now. And the key one I always remember is non-judgmentally. So, without all the adjectives, it isn't, oh man, I'm stupid for doing this, or wow, that was a really dumb choice I made, or man, I should know better. It's just acknowledging, detaching from those unhelpful thoughts, forgiving yourself, being grateful for the things that you do have. It was interesting. I was hearing somebody talking about exercise, and rather than like, oh man, exercise is so hard to do, rather than that, how about, wow, I'm going to celebrate all the things my body can do, and look at the jumping jacks, or the push-ups, or the sit-ups, or the exercise class or dance class that my amazing body just did. And so it's really just a mental shift of how you perceive your world, uh, with unconditional acceptance, and learning with a childlike mindset. Like, how do children learn new things? And would you speak to yourself the way you would speak to a beloved child? So, really thinking about yourself and cherishing yourself like you would an inner child. And so, those are a few tips on being mindful, so that hopefully we can push that reset button, and I think we all can maybe affirm that this has been a very tough time, tougher for some than others. But what do you do when your computer's kind of on the fritz, or your phone is acting wacky? Like, okay, sometimes we just need to shut it off, turn it back on, and start over again. And so, how do you shut off? Do you turn off your technology? Do you go out into nature? But what is your reset button? How do you reset and recharge yourself? And there isn't necessarily one perfect way to do it. And sometimes, maybe today I just need to turn off social media for the day. And maybe this weekend I will take some time and go into nature. But it can vary. But tuning in to know when you need to push that reset button and just kind of set things fresh. So these are just a few quick tips on how to take that stress and hopefully guide it closer to wellness. And wellness is a big catch-all word, but it's really a state of being. And you can be ill, you can have illness and still be a well person. And so, there can be disease and still be well. So, don't judge this, that, this is just a general process in how we go about living our lives, paying attention mindfully, and practicing a few key tips that hopefully will help you, walk through this challenging time with a little less challenge. And so I am Dr. JoAnn Yanez. I'm going to put up my contact information, hopefully here. Let's see, here we go. So you can reach me at info@aanmc.org. AANMC, we're on social media as well. And I hope this has been helpful for you. It's helpful for me to kind of remind me to practice what I preach. And so with that, I bid you all many thanks, and hope that you can find the wellness in your life.